Hey guys, welcome to day 5 of our week. We are going to do some practice with our perimeter and algebra tiles. So we're going to be on page 71, which is right next to the notes you guys took yesterday. Hopefully you had some time to cut out or make your algebra tiles. You're going to need those today. So we're just going to use 3 to start. So grab one of each of those and a pencil or a pen. I'm going to use a couple different colors, so if you want to, you may also do the same. Otherwise, you can just use your pencil and you'll be fine. So we're going to start by making some shapes with our algebra tiles and creating expressions to find the perimeter, okay? And remember, perimeter is all of the outsides added together. So I'm going to put my X tile off to the side right now, and I'm going to just have my X squared tile and my 1 tile. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these right up next to each other and trace them. And if you want to have it here, you can. If you want to have it in the middle, you can. However you want to have it set up. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trace my X squared tile. You'll hear my dog barking outside. He's loud sometimes. So I have my X squared tile right there, and now I'm going to put my 1 tile somewhere along there. Doesn't really matter where. And I'm just going to trace those other 3 sides. Okay. It's not the best tracing, but it's not the worst either. Okay. So first thing we need to do is label all 4 sides of, all the sides of our new shape, okay? So looking back at my notes from yesterday, I know that the side length of this X squared tile, this side is going to be X long. So I know that this is X. And I know that all of the other sides are also X. Okay, so X, X, and X. Now, I get to this side, and I'm going to leave this just for a second, and I'm going to do my 1 tile. Well, I'm not measuring this side because this is up against that. If this were like a room, I wouldn't need to measure that wall because it's not the outside part of it. So I only need to measure this part of that 1 tile. So I know that this is a 1, I know that this is 1, and I know that this is 1. Okay. So here's where having that other colored pen is going to be helpful. So I need to figure out the length of this and this right here. Okay. So what is the length of this part and this part? Well, the easiest way to do that is I know that the length of all of this is X because of the law of squares, okay? So because this is X, I know that this whole side length is X. I only subtracted a piece of it. How much of it did I subtract? Well, this part. So I only subtracted 1 piece of it. So what I'm going to have is on this side, this purple part is going to be X minus, because I'm just taking out that little section there for 1, okay? So now we have X, 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 1, 1, 1, and I have, for that purple part, I have X minus 1. So now I'm going to put all of those together, okay? So I'm going to do X for this one, plus X, oops, helps if I write it down, plus X, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus, because I'm adding this whole purple part, X minus 1. Now, that's really long. I can't leave it like that. That's too confusing. So I need to combine like terms. That means to put together the things that are similar. So I'm going to take my, I'm going to get some different colors so I don't confuse us here. I'm going to grab my blue and my green. And so I'm going to underline all of my X's, just straight X's in green. X, X, X. Oops. X. I did 2 pluses there, apparently. Okay, doesn't matter. So I have 4 x's. So I have 4 x's, so I can multiply them instead of doing x plus x plus x plus x. I'm going to multiply them and do 4x. Now I'm going to underline all of my numbers that are not attached to an x together. So I have a 1, I have a plus 1, I have a plus 1, and I have a minus 1. So I'm going to just do that up here. Plus 1, minus 1. Well, 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So I'm still adding because it's a positive 1. So I'm going to now add 1. If you're like, wait, why? So positive 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 minus 1 equals 1. Okay? So now my expression, or my perimeter, for this shape is 4x plus 1. Okay? All right. Oh, that's not right. I realized what I did wrong. I forgot a 1 because I had x. Let's just double check this. X, x, x plus 1. You guys, that's why plus 1 minus that. Okay, so I need to go back and I need to revise this. This is why we double check at 10 to precision. So I had this plus 1 right here, so I'm going to add this on the front. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. 3 minus 1, that's 2. So now I'm going to change this to 2. There we go. That makes more sense. Okay. So the total perimeter for this shape, now that I fixed it, is 4x plus 2. All right, you're going to do another shape now. So we're going to do all 3 tiles at the same time. And we're going to get kind of creative here. So I think I'm going to do it like this. All right, so I'm going to trace these on here. And if you're like, I don't really want to trace it, you don't have to. You can just, you know it's going to be a square. And it's going to have X on the sides, right? So if you're like, I don't want to trace it every time, you don't have to. So you know that that and that and that are all X. And you know that this is X, even though it's not on the outside. And you know that this is 1 and this is 1. And then on the outside here, you know this is 1 and 1 and 1. And just like before, you know that this purple part here is going to be X, because that whole side there, this whole side here is X minus this 1. Okay, so now I can put all of these together to make a perimeter, and it's going to be, let's see if I can do it right this time, X plus X plus X plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Now I'm going to add that X minus 1 plus X minus 1. Okay, again, really long, and I need to do some combining. So I'm going to take my pens again, and I'm going to get that green out, and I'm going to underline all of my X's. X, 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 X. And all of those are adding, so I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 X's. Okay, now I'm going to underline my whole numbers. Plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, minus 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I'm adding. So I have 5 1s, and then I'm subtracting 1. So 5 minus 1 equals 4. So now I am adding, because it's still a positive number, 4. So my perimeter for the shape is 4x, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. And if you even want to circle them just to double check, 1, 2, 3, 4 x's, and then I have 4 positive ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I have that minus one, sorry, that minus one, and that one cancels out one of these. Okay, so that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4. So that matches. Okay, we're gonna do one more real fast, and you can be as creative as you want to, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a shape like this. Okay, so I'm gonna just draw that real quick. Okay, so let's label this. So I know this side is X, 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 because that's a complete X. I know this side is 1. I know 1, 1, and 1. Now, I know that this is not a complete X because of this missing chunk here, so that's going to be an X minus 1. And I know that this side, this one right here, is also not complete because it's missing this chunk for that one. So I have another X minus 1. So now I'm going to join all of these guys together. So I'm going to have X plus X plus X plus X plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus X minus 1 plus, oops, X minus 1. All right, so now let's underline those X's and numbers. So X, 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 those are all positives. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 X's. And now I'm gonna get all my whole numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's a minus 1 and that's a minus 1. So I can combine those, and that's going to be minus 2. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 positive ones, and that's 4. So 4 minus 2 equals 2. So I'm adding, because it's still a positive number, I'm adding 2. So I should make this plus. Okay, so this shape here is 6x plus 2. And let's just do a double check. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 X's. And I'm going to look for those 4 positive ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to cross out 1, 1. And I'm going to cross out 1, 1. And that leaves me with 2 positive ones. So there you go. That is the perimeter for this shape. All right, you're going to go do some practice problems and fill out a quick form for us on everything you've learned in the last 3 days. Please feel free to access your notes and come to office hours if you have any questions on any of this. All right, have a great Friday. Bye.